What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. And so on my channel, I do a lot of discussions about one of my favorite shows on TV, which is Raising Kanan, right? And on the show, I discussed, recently I discussed Kanan's evolution to becoming the sociopathic psychopath that we see in the original Power series, right? How Kanan is becoming cold-hearted to a lot of the individuals around him, including his best friend, Sean, aka Famous, right? And in that video, I spoke about, Fame and how I really don't like how he doing Fame. And one of the dudes, some guy, one individual that recently saw my channel was like, finally somebody who really empathizes with Fame. And I really do, right? And I don't like when people, because this is the thing. I'm in a lot of these Facebook groups that talk about the show and everybody like, Fame soft. He's soft. He a punk and all this. Listen, man, Fame is a depiction of the reality of some people who live in harsh environments. Like I tell y'all know this because I say it so much. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. I was here around a lot of gangs, a lot of street stuff was going on around me. That wasn't me. I felt like Kendrick Lamar, a good kid in a mad city. Now, don't get me wrong. Chicago is a beautiful city with a whole lot to do and explore. But when you live in certain communities on the south side of Chicago, you're going to run into confrontation is inevitable. You're going to see a lot of things and experience certain things that people on the north side or people downtown don't see, or people in the certain suburban areas don't see, right? And so I empathize with Fame because I recognize that Fame can be lazy. Yeah, he can be a guy that don't really want to do stuff and all of that, just like any other kid, right? But essentially, he's a good kid. He just like to smoke weed, but he's really into the music thing. He ain't no killer. And in the hoods, in every community, everybody ain't a killer. And everybody and again, because we watching this TV show, we want everybody to be tough and be killers. And that's not an accurate depiction of society. In Chicago, yes, it's dudes out here that's killers. Yes, it's gangbangers. It's dudes that tow guns. It's dudes that's going to shoot. It's dudes that's going to unalive people. But there's a lot more people like Famous than it is like Kanan in Chicago. Believe it or not, right? There's a lot of people that don't want to commit crimes. They don't want to kill nobody. They don't want to hurt nobody. They just want to enjoy their life. They want to do the things that they like doing. I'm a kid from Southside Chicago. I like pretty girls. I like sports. I like wearing nice clothes. I like good rap. I like good hip hop music, good R&B music. I like going to the bowling alley and kicking it with the homies. I like going to go to the mall to go talk to the girls. I like going to the skating rink, even though I couldn't skate because I knew the girls was gonna be there. I liked going to the high school basketball games with my older brother, stuff like that, right? So Fame represents the depiction of the kid who's not really trying to get into something. Anytime Fame do something, it's really because he's being bullied, or it's only out of fear or necessity. He was selling drugs originally out of the necessity to pay for the bills where he was living because he got put out of his mom's house. After he figured out, okay, Kanan, your mother is going to supply us with funds for us to stay straight, he didn't want to sell drugs anymore. That ain't him, right? But he's hanging around a psychopathic sociopath like Kanan, who grew up in nothing but dysfunction with a mother who is a horrible mother. We love Rock as a character, but she's terrible, right? And so now that trauma that he has dealing with a drug-dealing queen paying mama and a drug-dealing family, that trauma trickled down to Kanan, and now he's being nothing but a brute and aggressive to his friend, somebody who ain't been nothing but good to him over the years. You know what I mean? And so even the situation with Fame unalived the dude, I keep saying, I keep going back and forth between the K word and unalive. When he unalived the dude in the hallway, it was only because he thought dude was going to do something to him, and he got scared. He ain't no dude just walking around he ain't a dude out here walking around shooting people. That ain't his stilo. You know what I mean? And I feel for him because now he really loves his best friend. He don't want his best friend to go down that path, but he knows it's inevitable. And he knows it's not safe to be around Kanan no more, even though he loves him as a friend. That explains why when he put the gun in the book bag, he didn't tell Kanan. One, he's scared of Rock. Two, he knows that if probably that was the only way Kanan was going to slow down. Probably slow down his life. and stop being on this path of trying to be the ultimate drug dealer, ultimate criminal. Because Fame is not built for that life. He punked Fame and bullied Fame into doing stuff like that, and he didn't want to be a part of that. He loves Kanan, but he like, yo, he got to slow down. So he ain't tell Kanan, and of course he's scared of Rock. And then he took Rock's money because he needs money. He don't want to do things illegally to get money. He just want to make dope music, right? Now I will say Fame's era is coming and rapping about what happened. It's that murder that he committed traumatized him to where it's been on his mind, it's been haunting him, and he feel like I can get my stuff out in the studio. What I foresee happening is that record getting pushed out on the airwaves, and the police hearing that song, they finding out it's famous and coming to get him because it's like, oh, this awfully is descriptive and it describes what we feel happened with you and that person in the hallway because they already questioned him already, right? But I feel for Fame, man. Again, Fame represents kids who really don't want to be in the street stuff, and people are trying to clown him. He a punk, he a punk. Listen, everybody ain't killers, man. Fame is what a lot of y'all kids would be. Well, some of y'all, I wouldn't say that because I wouldn't want nobody kids to be unaliving people and selling drugs. Fame is what a lot of y'all probably would be if y'all was in that circumstance. Because all these people that making these assumptions and going crazy on Fame, y'all ain't shooters like that. I never shot no gun. You know what I mean? So I really feel and empathize for Famous. And I'm like, yo, Kanan is really out here being vile to him and acting like he's a stranger. Didn't really care that Famous got locked up. And we see how that shifted from earlier in the previous season when Fame got locked up. And he's telling his mom, I can't let Fame sit in jail for nothing, man. That's my brother. And Rock is like, well, your brother got a different mama, right? And he went to go to his new daddy, Malcolm Howard, and use Malcolm to get Famous out of jail because he like, yo, he don't deserve that. And flash forward now, Fame get locked up and he like, you out now, right? Didn't really care nothing about him being locked up, none of that. Then Fame be K, and he really is struggling with the fact that his best friend is changing, you know. And honestly, I feel for Famous. I think something gonna happen to Fame. And and I think Kanan is going to feel guilty about it, and he's going to name his son that we saw in the original Power series, Sean, after Sean, aka Famous. Okay, and so yeah, man. But I just like, yeah, I really do feel for the brother. Kanan letting Ronnie push his weight all up on Fame. He letting Ronnie punk Fame out, letting Ronnie talk to him crazy and be disrespectful and be, you know, vile to him. And I'm like, what type of stuff is this, man? That ain't cool. But a lot of people were all gung-ho for it. Excuse the background. I'm in my son's play area or whatever. Right? But yeah, he's letting that the world undertake him. The glory, the fascination with being a drug dealer, with getting fast money, he's letting that overtake him in any morals he's ever had, and treating Fame like he next to nothing. Treating him like he next to nothing, man. And that ain't cool. But we'll see how it plays out. But I really do feel for Famous. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.